charge that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you.
Oh, we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Above the Fold Live episode 13. We have a
Wow.
fantastic show. I know, right? 13, 1 3. It's crazy. We have some good stuff coming to you live today. We have special guest, B Scrubbin, and we have also some juicy stories from the gaming industry. But first, we also should say welcome, Nonza Moses, Adam. How you doing, man?
I'm alright, yourself?
Chilling. Sunday.
Good.
Slightly hungover, but I'm fine. I'm good. And we also have again B Scrubbing Ben. How goes the Sunday?
It's good, man. Less hungover, but yeah, it's been good. A little earlier for me than for you guys, I think, too.
In case you guys didn't
Yeah.
know, never mix whiskey and wine together. It's a very bad idea. Just FYI. Pro tip: don't do that. So yes, welcome guys, and thank you to Mayhem Moose for following. I appreciate you, Mayhem, and also Kiso Go Plays. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode 13. So we have a lot of stuff coming up, but first we obviously have to spend a little time talking to the one and only B Scrubbin.
Dum, dum,
How's it going?
dum.
How's it going? First of all, thank you guys for the invite on the podcast here. Appreciate you.
No
So,
problem.
so for those of you that don't know, B Scrubbing is actually a streamer as well. I met him through a random raid by the community. They said, let's just raid someone, and I was looking for somebody we could raid. He was currently playing Detroit Become Human, I believe.
Yep.
And we raided him, and let me tell you, I was just amazed. Like, chill stream, really cool dude. But anyway, you guys will see and hear all about that. So enough of with me. Tell us more about yourself, Beast Robin. What do you do? How did you start this whole gaming passion? Pretty much give us the origin story of you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's too much hype. First of all, thank you. But
Just setting
Um,
you up, setting you up.
absolutely. I'll take it. I got hype man all over the place now. On Twitch. No, I'm Ben. Just recently turned 28, so firmly still in my 20s. I am a student right now, so taking some computer science classes. Trying to finish out a degree. Hopefully, getting into that industry when I'm done. Loving it so far. It's kind of nice being an older student, going back because I don't have the house party Tuesdays to keep me distracted. I can focus on getting through classes and get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big gamer, obviously. I think everybody on Twitch has some sort of passion for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my free time, I play a little bit of music. Just built a guitar actually. That was one of my COVID projects.
Don't you have a special name for your guitar?
I don't right now, actually.
No, you have a name.
Verdict is still out. It just got built. So
come on, chat. Let's get a name together by the end of the show. Let's get a name.
Come on, chat. Help me out. I need it. Yeah, doing that and working on an old motorcycle actually too, since I got some extra time here. So, in terms of gaming, honestly, I'm sure same as you guys. We all grew up while it's always been around.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily have a moment where I was like, I'm a gamer.
So nobody came into your life and said, "Look, this is a handheld or Tetris or Game Boy or any kind of." You just sort of naturally just found gaming and it just took up from there, I guess, basically.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, I definitely had those people, but it was like there were so many of them. I can't pinpoint one where it was like that guy. He's like, "Hey, play this game."
Yeah, gotcha.
But I do remember my cousins were big gamers, and I remember like one of my first real memories of like I want to play games more is he had Pokemon, old like Pokemon Blue, and not even on a Game Boy. This guy went full bore, put it on his computer on like an emulator, and this was back in like the Windows 98, Windows 2000 days.
I remember emulators back then. Holy shit! Okay.
So he could hack it, I think is what it was. He didn't actually want to catch any of the Pokemon, so he would just type in the commands to do it himself. Yeah, but they let me loose, as like young 5-6-year-old Ben, for 4 or 5 hours, and I was hooked, man. Ever since, the rest is history, as they say.
So was Pokemon your first game then that you played?
Yeah, I don't remember for sure, but it was, the Game Boy, end of the Super Nintendo era and into like N64, Super Mario 64. Some of those is where I really started getting into it.
I think thinking back about my own like sort of start with games, it all started with Super Nintendo, Mario, and Sega Mega Drive with Sonic. Like those two games pretty much shaped how I started into gaming. I think for you, Adam, I don't know if you remember your first game. Like, do you remember what you actually started playing?
Yeah.
Do you know what
I think it's pretty much the same. It was Pokemon Yellow. That's one of the first ones on the original Yellow Game Boy as well. God, that was many years ago.
That meant you were a cheater because you got all Pokemon. You didn't have to work for them. I'm just saying. That stuff dies hard, man.
I didn't play Pokemon, so I'm just gonna step away. I watched the anime and that was it. That was all I did. So
yeah, that was many years ago.
Bulbasaur, that's it. Yeah, but just.
I'm sorry. It kind of threw me off there. That's right. Yeah, you did start. Yeah, holy shit. That brings back memories now. Wow. Okay, carry on.
You're feeling very old now.
Yeah, that's a bit too old. Yeah, God.
I know.
That's right.
I know.
I saw the brief and I'm like, man, you guys are really taking me back. That's some nostalgia.
Well, it's good though. I mean, we all have this like origin story of how we started, how we got into games and how we sort of picked up from there. And I'm just going with that point. So you start with the N64, you sort of transferred to X64. Did you then move on to other consoles like PS, or did you just go straight maybe into PCs? Like, tell me the, I guess the transitions.
Yeah, absolutely. I was, my folks weren't huge on gaming, so any game I could get into the house was a win for me. And most of the family friendly ones were Nintendo first party. So as a kid, that was what most of that was. You know, Super Mario, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong. You know, some of those. But I remember like the big trigger was playing Halo CE and then Halo 2.
Okay.
Getting like a couple of nights we had 16 guys all in a room together. We networked the Xboxes together, the OG Xbox, you know, Mountain Dew, Doritos, the whole thing. And from 10 at night till like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, everybody's just fragging.
Holy shit.
And like those are the best moments too. You know, gaming for me has always been like that social experience. And so it was Halo in middle school, and then we were all around for the launch of Xbox Live and some of the over the internet gaming.
Yeah.
And so that first time popping into a Modern Warfare 2 lobby, man, put a little hair on your chest.
Oh yes, I remember that. Oh my god,
there was a lot of muting going on around them days. Lot of muting going on.
Because you couldn't get into a party chat, right? It was all in the lobby. That was it. Like you could hear everybody. Somebody's playing some kind of music in the background. Somebody was swearing, or somebody's mom was yelling at a kid. Like you could hear everything. It was great. There was absolutely chaos. I tell you that, absolutely chaos. So just because you mentioned Halo, I know Adam's a big Halo fan, and unfortunately we don't have Neon Demon today, but he's currently unwell, but he's with us in spirit. He's also a huge Halo fan, so there's a lot of Halo love in this.
That's probably one of the main. Sorry, that's probably one of the main games that got me into it. The gaming is. I had obviously the original Xbox Crystal. And just like you were saying before, going around a friend's house, playing back, like setting up your TV side by side, you do split screen and kind of doing all that, networking them all up and having a little switch, and it's absolutely brilliant. And then obviously Xbox Live came along, it was fantastic. Then with the days.
I don't remember the last time I actually had a group of guys literally in one space. I mean, last time was that happened was probably when I was playing Tekken on PS1. Or actually no, Golden on N64. That was the last time I remember all of us were all just in one room. Yeah. I was using Odd Job, sneaking around. Just like, man, it's nostalgic. I'm feeling really old, guys. I'm feeling really old.
I told you.
I'm feeling really old. But okay. So now, Ben, so you play most of your games on PC, correct?
I do. Yep.
Okay. And I believe you're also, or I guess, like I mentioned, you're also a streamer. So when did you start, and sort of what made you sort of take that plunge into the whole streaming life?
Yeah, for sure. I actually just got started here. It must have been a month ago or so, because I think that's when you came in and did that random raid for me. But Detroit was the first game I was streaming, actually. So I had poked around with the idea for a long time.
Yeah.
Had all the software downloaded, had a couple of overlays set up, and I wasn't sure I actually wanted to do it. But that game came out, and all the COVID stuff continued to go on for me. So I had a lot of extra time on my hands, and had what I thought was the perfect game that would be fun to play, and also fun for people to watch and engage with too. Yeah. Rather than just hopping into a League of Legends lobby or something. So it all kind of just came together all at once, and I said, let's press the button, let's do it.
and how are you finding it? Because I remember my first I guess time that I streamed, it was luckily nothing technically went wrong, but just setting everything up was a big challenge. So I'm quite curious to sort of hear your own challenges. Like, how did you find just getting OBS or overlays, things like that? Like, how did you find the whole startup?
Yeah. So like I was saying, I was kind of lucky in the sense that it was a pretty drawn out process for me. It's like 1 week I'd download Streamlabs and play around with the software. And then the next week I would, do a test recording, something like that. All through that process of do I really want to do this? Is this for me? Right. Yeah. So when I went live, it's definitely, the technical difficulties of switching tabs and switching screens and things, From the outside looking in, just like everything, but you're always like, well, I could do that. That guy's just playing video games on camera.
Yeah.
And then you're on the other side, you're sitting there doing it yourself, and it's like, where are all the buttons?
it's quite nerve-wracking, especially because I remember when I was playing Resident Evil and I got stuck at this puzzle. I'm like, people are gonna think I'm dumb. People are actually gonna think I'm dumb because I can't solve this freaking puzzle. And you're there just sweating your bollocks, hoping you can solve the thing in time. But it's again, you're on if you're on the other side of the of like a viewer just watching it, you're not really thinking like, oh, it's fine, you're just playing a game, it's not that stressful. But once you actually do it, you also have to engage, you also have to play the game, so it's a lot that actually go into it. So I can imagine like that first turning on moment was quite nerve-wracking as well.
Yeah. I think
No,
I
but
definitely got lucky. Those first couple streams,
yeah,
streaming to myself, streaming to like one other person, and
yeah,
everybody's super cool on Twitch that I've run across so far. So
yeah, yeah.
got all the kinks worked out before I actually had some people in there like watching me play, which helped kind of ease the nerves a bit too.
Pro tip, guys, always make sure you test your stream before you go live. I did. I'm lucky nothing went wrong, but I know a couple of people that have gone live and everything just went to shit. So if you ever have plans to stream, make sure you do a test for sure. So we have Kisogo plays talking in chat right now. So he said, geez, Pokemon Blue and Red, nostalgia is real. I remember my old LAN parties with Counter-Strike and Diablo 2. Wow, Counter-Strike, as well as UTI. Wait, not the UTI I'm thinking about, and Quake Arena as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
That brings back memories. I just having a bit quick chat in the chat there. Having the LAN parties with, like you were saying, Unreal Tournament was my jam, the very first one. Again with Quake, that was a long time ago. That was right about the time that you had I think my biggest hard drive was about 40 gigs, not even that, no. Like 25 gig or something, like
That
20
sounds
gig.
about right.
And yeah, I remember the days of begging my dad to go, I need a bigger hard drive, I need to install Unreal Tournament, it's not letting us, all that sort of thing. And yeah, they were the days. They were the good old days.
Back when you could fit 5 games on a 20 gig hard drive as well.
Yeah. that SimCity, Unreal Tournament, what else was it? Something like Roller Coaster Tycoon as well.
Oh, that's a good touchstone. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, guys, this is a memory trip. Just want to quickly say welcome, Cozy in Trouble, welcome, Authentic, and everybody else, welcome, as well as Karamita. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. We're just currently having a fireside chat with B Scrubbing. So, getting back to it. So you said your first game that you streamed was Detroit Become Human, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the sort of the thinking? I guess you said you were looking for, I guess maybe you're thinking, okay, I need a game that is a bit interactive so I can engage with the viewers and whatnot. Like, what goes behind you picking a game to stream?
Yeah. So I think you kind of hit it, and I think I kind of talked about it as well. But it really is that, especially for that first stream, Detroit was almost like training wheels a little bit, because I could sit back and do the QuickTime events, press the buttons, but let the audience just kind of watch and engage with it on their own terms. And I think that kind of stuck as well. I do consider myself like variety streamer. I've been through probably 5 different genres since I started already.
Same, but I'm the same.
Yeah, absolutely. You're still looking for that game that's fun for you, but fun for everybody else as well.
Correct.
Oh yeah, go for it.
No, I'm just gonna say that's I guess it's just finding that balance between what you enjoy playing and what will be fun for anybody coming to watch you stream. So
absolutely,
that makes absolute sense. So what do you play then when you're not streaming? Like, what games do you usually?
So kind of back to, again, what's fun for stream and what's not. I play a ton of FPS stuff. I'm big into Warzone right now. I play a lot of Apex, little bit of League of Legends. That's that game I hate that I just I'm never gonna be able to quit. But like those types of things that can entertain me for hours on end.
Yeah.
But yeah, aren't necessarily the thing I want to hop on and show my audience either.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And I'm gonna put you on the spot right quick.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 3 games of all time.
It catches everybody
I've been asked
out.
this a lot.
Oh, maybe not.
I've thought about it a lot, and it's a cycling list. I don't know about you guys, but like I don't think I could ever just have a steady top 3. However, I'm gonna try. I'll try.
Okay, I was gonna say you have to get something. You're not gonna leave without.
I can't bail on it now, right? Yeah.
No.
So I think, kind of like we were talking about, I think Halo as that first original series, 1 through 3, I think that collectively is on the list for sure.
Okay.
For the reason we talked about, gaming for me is playing with friends, hanging out with other people.
Yeah.
And whether it's a LAN party, whether it's Xbox Live, whether it's like goofing off and what did Halo 3 have? Like that Forge mode or like the map editor?
Yeah.
I mean, like me and my closest, 10 or 15 friends, we lost so many hours into that. I've got a lot of memories tied up in that game that are independent of Halo, but Halo was the game that made that happen coming up. So I think it's it stands on its own there. Let's see. Top 3.
So that's
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Ooh,
Snake
Solid
Eater?
Soul.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
That was a life-changing game too. Because again, grew up on Super Mario, grew up on Mario Kart, like these games that did one thing very well.
Yeah.
And I jump into Metal Gear Solid, and it's like, you got story, you got, stealth, you got a little bit of puzzle. You can choose how you want to, approach a level.
Yeah.
There's stuff that you may never see unless you're looking for it, like all these little secrets sprinkled around. It was a game that did everything for the first time for me and aged me up a little bit in the gaming world. So
Okay.
big fan. And number 3, I don't know. I might give it to Witcher right now. Like I said, we're cycling the list now, but so far, same thing. It's a game that does everything super, super well.
Okay. Because I know you're currently playing that as well, so that must have really leaving a lasting impression on you for you to get in that list. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great game. I've always heard it's a great game. I've never played myself, but watching you play, we're talking before the stream anyway, that it looks really good, and it's something I would love to play. So, okay. Fair enough. Nice. Well, good job. You did it. See, it wasn't so bad.
That's right.
It wasn't too bad.
Sweat coming down my face right now. What do I do?
It wasn't too bad. You're fine. So finally, is there any unreleased games that you're looking forward to? Now, let me preface this and say anything besides Cyberpunk. Is there anything else you're looking forward to?
You took my answer, man.
We have learned from the past guests. Usually the answer is always Cyberpunk. You're like, you know what, guys? Let's try something different. Let's take away Cyberpunk. What else are you potentially looking forward to? Or if it's fine, if it's only Cyberpunk, then that's fine.
I'm having trouble thinking of the title. Cyberpunk is the one, but it was one of the games they showed at the showcase, the Xbox showcase. It felt a little Skyrim-esque for me.
Awoken?
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, Awoken.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awoken.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been itching for my fantasy fix for a long time, and you can only play so many hours of Skyrim before you got to find something else to scratch that itch for you.
I am going to probably say something a bit I shouldn't say out loud, but I've never played Skyrim. With that said, thank you very much.
I think we've just lost Arrow. I'm afraid he's just been
moving on. But no, that game, Avowed. Thank you. Avowed. Yes, that game looks absolutely great and something I'm actually looking forward to playing. So thank you very much, Rescrum. I appreciate that. So moving right along, we do have some interesting things that happened over the last week. So did you know that a report came out by the ESA? Now, what is the ESA? The Entertainment Software Association serves as the voice and advocate to the video game industry. And based on the 2020 report by the ESA, it says that 75% of US households have at least played. Hang on one second to make sure I have this correct. Have at least one gamer. The average age of a gamer is between 35 to 44 years old. 73% of gamers reported having a console, and 43% having a handheld system. Now, the actual context of the report says that 214 million Americans play video games. This is based off what the ES report says. Now, Ben, since you're in the US, just based on those numbers, is that something that jumps at you and you're like, wow, I didn't think it was that many, or was that like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's right.
Yeah, I tend to agree, honestly, especially in the last like 5, 6 years or so.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that wouldn't have considered themselves gamers, they found a way to get in, whether that's, like the puzzler on their phone, or whether that's watching a significant other play something that they really enjoy and then finding that they want to pick up the controller. I think it's just like, it's as ubiquitous as a Netflix or something similar where, if you're hanging out with somebody, it's like, do we watch a movie or let's pick up a game and let's play,
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. I think it's really cool, honestly, as a gamer for life. It's nice that some of these other folks out there are coming along. Yeah.
There are a lot of us. That's that's for sure. That's for sure. So the report actually had some very interesting information. So I'm going to just quickly read them out. So it says that 79% of gamers say games provide relaxation and stress relief, which I think you just touched on there. 87% of male gamers age 55 to 64, and 82% of female gamers ages 55 to 64.
I'm surprised at that. Holy shit!
Mental stimulation, like the age range is actually. It's actually quite shocking. I didn't think we would have that much of a matured gamer audience or audience within that space. So, I mean, just looking at those numbers, that is really surprising for me. I don't feel bad now playing games too when I'm like 60 or 60. When I can no longer,
that's not very long for you, eh? That's about.
Hey, what are you trying to say? Okay, what are you trying to? I'm still not yet at my peak. I haven't peaked yet. Okay, I feel like around 40, maybe. Maybe that's when I can't really be competitive anymore. But I mean, I think for me anyway, when I was working, I should say, coming back from work, the first thing I did was, okay, take a shower, have my dinner, sit on my chair, proceed to turn on Overwatch and play. That was a way for me to sort of, debrief myself from everything that's happened that day, just, unwind. So I think that's probably the same thing for you guys as well. I think you do your daily activities and you come back home, and for you guys sort of unwind, you proceed to play said games. So it's actually very interesting that seeing this report not only applies to, I guess, people in the States, but I wouldn't be surprised if the same stats also apply to people outside the US that also use game as a way to sort of relax and relieve stress and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. And then it goes on to say there are about 46 million gamers with disabilities. I have seen, I think either Nintendo or Microsoft have been creating kits to cater to people with disabilities, which I think is very cool because for whatever reason, whatever life happens or whatever the case may be, whether I can use my two hands to play a game or whether I'm not unable to do that, I'm still a gamer at heart. So so basically allowing companies to be able to provide the necessary amenities for people that are not in the traditional sense to play games, but provide them the ability to play games. I think it's really cool. And I think that is something I hope to see more of. I don't know about there in the US. Do you see a trend where companies are providing more and more spaces or kits or tools to provide for people that are disabled? Do you see that kind of trend? I guess maybe within your immediate friends or immediate surrounding, I should say.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of that official sort of stuff coming out, a company providing it. But browsing on Reddit, browsing other places, you see folks kind of MacGyvering their own. And I think a lot more of those, and the beauty of the internet is you can start sharing all those things that work. Hey, I have this disability. Here's what works for me to get me playing games.
Yeah. Now I think that's something that I feel that maybe as the years goes on, maybe potentially whether it's Microsoft or whether it's Sony, they will start providing the necessary tools to cater to this particular audience. Because again, we're all gamers. We want to play, so nobody should feel left out. And then it goes on to say 61% play on a smartphone, 52% on the console, 49% on a personal computer. And I know when I'm in the train, I'm probably using my phone to either go on social media or rarely play something. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys use your phone to play games that much?
No, not. I used to. I used to play quite a bit, but now I'm either working, checking, like you say, checking social media, getting home, and I've just got a PC right here and there. And again,
Yeah.
I played a bit of PUBG when it was on mobile, that sort of thing. But again, I've never really. It's Candy Crush that got me. Candy Crush is probably one of the games that I did play a lot of.
Crush.
But apart from that, it's just literally Xbox or PC. That's what gets me.
Okay.
Not many games on the old phone anymore.
Do you play on a smartphone, Ben?
I don't. I think Adam hit it on the head. I couldn't even tell you what I'd have installed, even if I were to play a mobile game. Like, yeah, it's the phone is for communicating, and then I have plenty of time, and I've got a PC that's going to run anything I want it to. So I just save the gaming for when I get back, and that works for me. Yeah.
But can it run Candy Crush though?
You know,
that's
next stream game, maybe Candy Crush win.
I think the last time I used my phone to play a game was probably Infinity Blade and Fruit Ninja. That was it. I think that's actually no. Fruit Ninja was actually on the iPad, so I stand corrected. It was only Infinity Blade. But okay, so it seems like there's a very big audience of smartphone or people using smartphones to play games. So we might actually see. I mean, think about the. I'm just thinking when they released the Diablo game for smartphones. I mean, nobody saw a Diablo game or any sort of mobile game coming to that platform, but it must be that there's probably a big market for it. And I won't be surprised if we start seeing big games coming to smartphones and, people playing it that way. So 45% of ESRB rated games are E, with 40% E10, plus 20% T, and 13% M, so mature rated. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but most of the games I play are usually M. Most of the games I usually play are usually M, especially one I'm currently playing now, which is Evil Within 2. That is definitely not.
I'm sure Candy Crush is 18 plus, I think. Yeah, I'm sure.
Say again?
I'm sure Candy Crush is rated M for mature or 18 plus.
Really? You think so?
The first couple levels they hook you, but then once you get into those higher up levels,
it's them higher levels that you've got to watch out for.
All that adult content. I'm surprised though at that number, to be honest. I would expect more mature games with, like you just said, with the average age being 35 to 44.
Yeah,
you'd think they'd want to cater more to that market.
It brings out the kid inside. I think when you play down, you just want to relax. You just want to have fun. And a lot of the kid games are really just fun because they're built around for kids. Then you get the mature sort of stuff, and it's very dark. You get all that sort of thing like Dark Souls and etc. Blah blah blah. And it's just a lot of. I think that's probably why, for my personal opinion, I think it's when it goes to kid type games, 45% rated games. Yeah, I think that's probably why why it's like that, because everybody just wants to come in, chill, have a quick game of, I don't know, Banjo Kazooie or something like that. Donkey Kong.
Love it.
We are getting nostalgic today.
We are, man. This is actually a trip down memory lane. Sure. So just quickly, owners and Harget, welcome. So owners actually mentioned that smartphones becomes more easily accessible along with the progress of mobile games, especially Pokemon Go, which was actually huge when it came out. I mean, I saw people literally just walking around streets looking for Pokemon. I think I've led people to accept it more, along with Switch being tablet oriented. Yes. So a lot of handheld, like the Switch being so portable. So I think we mentioned before that there's a lot of potential within that space for people to just play games on the go. Not have to be, sat down on the couch or whatever, play your AAA games or whatever while you're on a train or taking or doing a number 2 in the toilet, So whatever the case may be, that that's seeing a large market for it. So That's a very good point, honest, and thank you for that. By the way, guys in chat, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in. I will try, or one of us will try to actually ask it while we're talking. So feel free to drop your questions in. And again, thank you for being with us. So back to the report. Most popular genres are casual, action, and shooters. I think that makes a lot of sense considering all the games. I mean, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Apex, Hyperscape, Fortnite. Like, there's a lot of shooting, third person shooters, action type games. So that makes a lot of sense. 40% of gamers have met someone through gaming they wouldn't have.
Very,
Adam,
very true. Yeah.
Very true. I'm going to start with you, Adam. I think you, and again, Neon Demon, who is usually a host or co-host on this show, is currently unwell. I believe Adam and Neon Demon, who's also Scott, met through Halo.
Halo
if I'm not
2,
mistaken.
yeah, many years ago.
Yeah.
Geez, 15 plus years ago now. Then again, it just grew from there. That when I went down and actually eventually went, you know what? I've known you for about, I think it was about 8 or 9, 10 years maybe. I went, you know what? You only live a couple of hours away. Come visit, say hello, introduce ourselves, and it just love grew from there. You know, yeah, we've been friends ever since. And then again, when I went down, I met yourself, Arrow. We went out for a few drinks and stuff. But yeah, everybody. Met a lot of people through Xbox mainly. Again, work. I've met new work colleagues who are kind of friends, and I'm currently playing Tarkov and SnowRunner with a works friend's friend. So it's weird how the community grows, and it's weird how you can get friends with other people that you wouldn't normally do it unless you play games. I find it amazing, fascinating.
That's really good. I second that as well. I have met people through playing online. Person that actually come to mind. She plays a lot of Overwatch, and she actually helped me with my own stream as well. So I've met a lot of people playing games, really really dope people as well. And for you, Ben, I don't know if you've had the same experience as well. If you want to enlighten us too.
Yeah, no, I think you guys touched on a lot of the big stuff, but I like, Adam, especially that you said, I think gaming is kind of an equalizer, so like we were talking about people with disabilities, and getting catered to them, having them come in and play, or smartphone gamers, or, whatever it is. It's that thing that you can meet someone on the street and have a conversation around gaming, or meet them online, or whatever it is, and have that in common without any sort of you don't have to be a certain type of person. You don't have to pay a ton of money to get into it. It's very, very easy. There's a low barrier to entry. So you meet all sorts of different types of people playing. And then obviously, Twitch is the obvious answer here too.
Yeah.
Where when I started streaming, I was streaming to myself, but well, everybody starts there. Yeah. At 0 view stream, But,
oh yeah, you're like, oh yes, me, myself, and the PC. Great, it's fantastic.
I've mentioned a couple of times too. Just having people come in and chat, and having people hang out. That social experience of being online kind of emulates the feeling of the LAN party or Xbox Live, or some of those other things that have come through in the past.
Yeah. I think I can't even add on to that. It's pretty much what I would have alluded to. So now that's all great points anyway. So this report here, I think it's safe to say that there are many of us out there. So if we ever need to uprise and take over the world, we can. So keep that in mind. So moving right along, Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play, confirmed by 343 on this Friday. Before I actually get into this, Ben, you saw the reveal of the Halo Infinite gameplay. I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. Was it last or last 2 weeks? I can't remember now. I think it was last week. What do you think about it? Give me your impressions about it.
So,
oh boy,
you guys are about to lose.
Did I drink? I took a quick sip.
No, it was fine, and I think that's probably not what Xbox wanted or Halo wanted. That's not what the devs were looking for there. I've played a lot of Halo games, and I actually dropped off. I played through 1 through 3, got real hyped for 4, and then dropped off. I didn't play much of 5 at all. But I think this was the moment where I wanted to like get that hype again. I wanted to be excited for a Halo game that I haven't been for a very long time. And it just, I don't know if it was too similar to the originals, or the ways that they're innovating just didn't quite resonate with me.
Okay.
Like the grappling hook, do I need that in a Halo game? Like, it's cool, I played some Titanfall. I love that game. But, like, do I need that in my next Halo installment? So it didn't hit that piece of me that it's like, I want to buy the console. I want to play this new Halo game, and I have to find a way to make this happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be good, and the free-to-play multiplayer is a cool idea, but yeah, we'll see.
So you're still on the fence. You're not
exactly
not pumped. Okay. No, I think we touched on this last week because there's a lot of what should I say, chatter around negativity around it about how it looked graphically for a next gen game. It looked like a last gen game. People were comparing it to Last of Us 2, looking at it, and to credit Microsoft, they came out and said, look, first of all, this build is of an old 1-year-old build. Plus, there were other things that were not that affected as well, which was the lighting. So there were a lot of things that Microsoft did to say, look, this is why it looked the way it did. Now, could they have maybe said out before releasing, like, look, this is not how it looks right now, to avoid all of the backlash? Yeah, they could have done that. But to their credit, they have said, guys, we understand, but trust me, it's not how it looks. Once it comes out, due to the whole COVID situation, we wanted to bring you something, let you know, like, look, this is what we're going to bring out. This is what's coming out. Gets the hype around. So we touched on that last week, and I think again, Adam, feel free to correct me. I know that you are still going to get the Halo game.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the Halo game. I always like the story. I mean, I'm not astute in the Halo franchise, but I've always enjoyed playing it, especially playing with the guys, either with Adam or with Scott or with anybody else. So for me, I will get it anyway. But just wanted to sort of add that context that, when we touched on this, there was all of this negativity that came with it. So I was quite curious to see or hear your own point of view about what you saw from the showcase as well. So, okay, so moving that aside, did it come out and say there will be a free-to-play multiplayer game, free-to-play multiplayer? It's going to be running at 120 FPS, and it will reduce load times and create a seamless gameplay with Xbox Series X. So the arena aims for 120 FPS. There will be a battle pass system. There will be player customization. Apparently in Halo Reach, there was an expansive customization there. So I don't know whether that's going to be at the same level. They didn't really release any details about it. There will be microtransactions apparently, although it will not include real money loot boxes, which is great, 'cause we know that some other publishers or developers have included this type of microtransaction. So just quickly, guys, how do you feel about a free-to-play multiplayer for Halo? How does that sway you? Or, I mean, in your sense, Ben, does that sway to maybe, okay, I'm not pumped, but multiplayer is free to play? Does that sway to then maybe potentially even move to the edge of getting it as opposed to being on the fence?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's really smart. They're doing the Game Pass, but the free to play multiplayer, I think, is where they need to be. So for me, that's on the fence, I can download the multiplayer, real low barrier to entry again, play with all my friends, and then I'm sure Microsoft is thinking this as well. But my friends all say, "Hey, let's go play the campaign." Yeah. And it's like, oh well, now I got to go get it. Even if I'm not 100% sold on it,
yeah,
I got to get it to stay invested with what my buddies are doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's also good marketing. Like you said, the game got a lot of negative feedback after the showcase there.
And hey, free to play.
Exactly. I'm waiting for my mind to be changed, but
Yeah.
I think, getting people into the game and letting them play it without having to drop $60 is a good way to say, hey, this is actually going to be a really cool game, and here's why you should play it.
Yeah. For your thoughts, Adam, do you see any issues with this being a free-to-play game? Like, do you see anything that might be either negative or
It's
positive? Like,
no, I mean, anything free, in my mind, it's not going to. It's not going to be negative. You've always got the free to play and the campaign, which is if you've got to purchase. Like Ono said in the chat, it works great for Warzone, which is correct. It does work really well for Warzone. If you want to play the original OG Call of Duty multiplayer, you've got to buy the game, but Warzone is free. And I think it works really well. It'll give everybody a taste. At the end of the day, it's free. There's no excuse not to pick it up and give it a go. Especially with hopefully going down the line with xCloud. I know touching this again, but it's going to be instant for people just to try it, just to give it a bit, test it out, and go, you know what, this is fantastic. I'll download this. I'll even get the campaign. But again, you get all the OG or the original Halo fanboys, etc., who will buy the original game, no matter if the game's free, if the multiplayer is free or not. But yeah, there's no harm in setting the multiplayer for free. Yeah, there's no negativity for me. I'll give it a go. I'm going to get the game anyway. I've had every single Halo game out. I kind of didn't really play the Halo 5 like Ben said he didn't earlier. Didn't really touch that. I did go on a few times, but didn't really touch it. It was Halo 4 that dropped off. Halo 5, then I want this game to really being quite pumped up for it. The trailer, yes, so there's a lot of negativity behind the trailer. Yeah. But then again, you said before, people are comparing that to Last of Us 2. I don't think you should be comparing that to Last of Us 2, not that sort of game. It's just a totally different style of game. Again, grapple punch.
I guess.
Yeah, go, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. I guess it was just purely from the graphic side of things.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I was saying. Like, oh man, if Last of Us 2 can do this right now, how can this next gen game look like this compared to this current game in this current gen? You know what I'm saying? So that's probably where they were sort of saying.
Yeah, but then again, you still got to look at the type of graphics that they're aiming for. Where Halo is totally like make believe you can do anything at all you want in a sense. Where Last of Us 2 is more around realism type effect. But for me, go back to the original point. I can elaborate a bit too much, but
no, it's fine. You're good.
The Halo multiplayer be fantastic. You'll get a lot more people playing it, just trying it out. For me, you'll get a lot more people who are probably worse than me. Thank God, and there'll not be many because I am at the bottom of the barrel. I might have a fighting chance of killing somebody. So you get a few more people who are trying to work your way up. And fingers crossed, I'll be able to kill a few people.
Yeah, Adam, I did want to say just really quickly, though, too. Sure. I think you touched on something really important, though, like with the graphics especially, before we move on. You know, Halo, maybe unfairly, but I think some of the backlash is also coming from the fact that, you know, that's the title that's going to make or break this new console coming out. So it doesn't have to just succeed on its own terms or the hype from the Halo franchise or all this other stuff that you have going on.
Yeah.
But it has to look good because Microsoft's, you know, riding on this brand new console that people are going to have to pay. We still don't know, but, you know, I'm guessing $500-$600 on, you know, it's in the middle of a global pandemic, you know, who's got $600 laying around? Yeah, exactly.
That is the real question right now. And that's a very good point. Just want to quickly touch on chat just for a second. So apparently Ono says that, yes, you need a grappling hook beast scrub, and Kisogo Plays also says you always need a grappling hook. So I think to your point, I think chat says you definitely need a grappling hook, Ben. So, and I support that. I think the grappling hook is great. You know, I'm always anything. I'm always there. I already hope that's a full guys. I'm always down for anything with mobility. So, well, that's a fair point. So just rounding off. Given that this parts of the Halo package the multiplayer aspect will be free. Do you think the actual rest of it, like the campaign and everything else, would potentially make the price of the game even cheaper than what it would have been if it was all packaged as one? So so in the last month's show, there was potentially a assumed price about how much the next game games will cost, around 70 to 80 quid thereabouts, I think. So given that the multiplayer aspect is going to be free, does that mean that the actual rest of the Halo game will be potentially cheaper? What do you guys think? I'll start off with you, Adam.
Oh, that's a tough one. Should be. At the end of the day, the multiplayer side of things are free. You're getting less for what you pay for, technically. But then again, they're going to be relying heavily. They might turn around and go, okay, the game's going to be slightly cheaper because you're not getting multiplayer, but slightly cheaper again because we can make this money up through the microtransactions that if they're going to, like you say, they're going to pop in there. And again, anything with microtransactions, the game's just going to make an absolute fortune if it blows up the way like Fortnite did, etc. And
so it's because I know it says that it will not include real money loot boxes. So
real money loot boxes, but real money cosmetics, I think. If there's microtransactions, that sort of thing, so you're always going to be grabbing money from there. I would hope again 343. I would like to think it's going to be cheaper. If not, they've got a lot of questions to answer.
It would be, well, considering that you would assume that, yes, it would be cheaper because part of it is free. But we don't know how much, first of all, we don't know how much the box is going to cost. We don't really know how much its games are going to, there's been a speculation about prices and whatnot. So it's a lot of stuff in the air. But just passing it back to you, Ben. Would you be willing to pay for a Halo game that is around 65 to 70 quid if the multiplayer aspect is free?
Yeah, the multiplayer, is the big part of Halo for me. I love the campaigns, but if the multiplayer is free, that's definitely less value, I think, paying, especially more money for just a campaign. However, I think, what would be a smart move on Microsoft's part, if it were me, if I were running Microsoft, let me tell you.
Here we go. He's
Mr. Spencer here.
I'm guessing what will happen is you'll see it come out at full price for the campaign.
Okay.
But with a big push towards Game Pass.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would love to see Xbox move more in that direction, and I think they're starting to, where they're less about hardware and more about buy our service and play whatever game you want.
Yeah, we mentioned this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
We mentioned a lot of how Game Pass has evolved and how Microsoft are more orientated about they want to pushing more games than console, I would think. We think, because they want to push the Game Pass. At the end of the day, Game Pass is what makes the money. Consoles these days don't technically make much money at all, as they've came out in the past to say. So yeah, you're totally right. They want to push Game Pass more and more because that's their monthly revenue. That's what they're making money off. Like you say, I think it's gonna. Yeah, sorry. Did they say obviously Halo is going to be coming out with Game Pass? That's right?
It will come out with Game Pass. Yeah, which is why Game Pass in itself is already. I feel that it's their crown jewel. It's the centerpiece for that Microsoft ecosystem. There isn't any other service like this within the space. It's brilliant. So anyway, we are going to touch on that later down in the show. So, but okay, just moving right along. So guys, your favorite superstar actor that loves to run shirtless in all his movies, Tom Cruise, is going to be shooting a movie in space.
Who's he?
Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible 1.
Is he?
I think he's new. So apparently, Universal will spend $200 million to shoot Tom Cruise into space. So Tom Cruise is going to head to space for an upcoming film, the first time a Hollywood movie has ever been shot outside of planet Earth. And he's now secured some serious money to do so, $200 million. The film, which currently has no script, will be funded for 200 million, the report says. Elon Musk and his company SpaceX will partner on the project too and help get crews outside of the Earth's atmosphere to do so. 2020 is the year that just keep giving, doesn't it? I don't know about you guys though, but 200 million to shoot a movie, how do you guys feel about this?
That's pennies for Universal. That's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make that up with. They'll make 10 times that with the film when it comes out. At the end of the day, this sort of thing is not. It's never been done before. Spending all this money to send them out, they'll make it back. People will want to see it just to kind of see what it looks like. So they'll make it back within the first week.
So you want to see Tom Cruise running in space, as if we ever wondered what that would look like. That is something we are practically going to get at some point.
We've probably already seen him in space anyway, in some
I'll
sort
buy
of
two
movie.
tickets. Yeah.
You buy tickets, Ben?
For your 0, I'll buy an extra one to go see it again.
So Kisogo plays says, it's Tom Cruise, yo. Of course he will shoot a damn movie in space. You know what? I'm actually curious as to what kind of movie this would be. What if it's nothing relating to space?
Space
It's all about
yeah.
What if it's nothing relating to space? It's just like a romantic tale about him and somebody. Like nothing has to do with space.
He was going to meet in space.
It's normal. Like I don't know. What if it's completely something he could have done on the planet Earth? Like how would we feel about that? Like what do you guys think? Like what was the point then? Like I'm just so curious. Like why? Like why? You know. But Ben, I'm going to hand it over to you. Tell me what you think about this.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a sucker for like action movies anyways. They don't have to make sense, but I want to see like some cool stunts. I want to see stuff happen. I want explosions. I want like people running on the side of a building. Mission Impossible 3 or 4, he's on the side of the Burj Khalifa, I think. Yeah, for sure. And for me, like I'm kind of burned out. I was talking about this on stream the other day, but I'm burned out on the CGI stuff a little bit. Like even the best CG, I'm sure you guys are the same way, but you can tell that it's getting faked. You can tell that it's not actually happening.
Yeah.
And even if it looks the same, if Tom Cruise is in space and they could have just shot it on a green screen,
Superman's mustache that was CGI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But being able to come out of the theater and it's hype again. But being able to come out of the theater and say like, that dude went out into space and shot that scene, and like even if he's just holding hands with the girl, like you were saying, Aro, I want that hype out of a movie again. Like I, as a moviegoer, like I want to go in and experience something different.
Yeah.
So even if the movie's trash, I'm there for it. 2 tickets, baby. Sign me up.
You know what? I would actually go see this movie just so I can say I've seen a movie that has been shot in space. Just to see what it's gonna look like. But it better be a hell of a movie, though. I mean,
yeah.
And mind you, it's probably not even gonna be. It's probably gonna be a lot more than 200 million. It's gonna cost probably even close to maybe $1 billion to do something like this. I don't know how much it takes to actually launch a spaceship into space. That in itself is probably looking at close to $1 billion. Then again, you have to shoot in space. You have cameras. You have production team. Do you do the editing in space?
And the insurance? Like, how do you even insure someone for flying out into space?
How do you your local guy come? Like, well, how do you insure? Like, how does that even work? Like, how do you get insurance?
Just start out real small. Hey, I'm planning on taking a trip, and I was hoping to get a quote.
Are you from the Caribbean? Somewhere a bit farther away. So.
Signing the travel insurance documents, going your destination, the moon or something like that. Space. I might end there. Don't know. I'm not 100% where I'll end up, but I'll travel back somewhere in the ocean. Pick me up there.
It's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, Kisogo says, I don't know, man. The SpaceX and Boeing are trying to do. So I know they're trying to make traveling to space at some point commercial and affordable for the everyday man. Okay, I don't know how much that would cost.
Everyday
but I know that's what they're trying. So, but again, this is an interesting project. I guess we'll keep an eye on it to see what comes out of it. I just thought it was fascinating that this is what we've reached. So moving right along. Um, for those of you that are into the Marvel Avengers game, there was a new trailer that came out with a new character, Hawkeye. Um, I don't know if we have that pulled, Adam. If you can
Do yeah.
grant us that visual, that'd be great. So on July 2019, Crystal Dynamics hosted its second War Table stream for Marvel Avengers. The studio previewed the game's upcoming beta and gave players a look at Hawkeye, the game's first post-launch hero. So I think we're already seeing that Iron Man, Hulk, and I believe Thor are going to be one of the heroes that will be coming with the game, as well as some other heroes that are not so household popular names. But this is going to be the first hero that we're seeing that will be post-launch. Hawkeye will play like players expect, slinging all kinds of arrows across the battlefield. In the trailer, as we're currently seeing now, we see Hawkeye using a combination of melee and his signature arrows. Black Widow also mentions shock arrows, so Hawkeye fans should expect a variety of arrow types. So he's going to be out here Robin Hooding the shit out of everything. So with different types of arrows. So, and he will come with his own campaign. So how do you guys like? I'm going to start off with you, Ben. How do you feel about a Marvel Avengers game? First of all, I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on it, if you played any, and secondly, does this excite you?
Yeah. So I'm a fan of the movies, and I should say I wasn't at first, but I had friends get me into it, and now I'm a Marvel fan for life.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's their hype to lose, to be honest. I think they've got the right IP for it. They've got a killer developer behind it. I haven't been super impressed with the gameplay. Like the demos they showed were a little choppy. You could tell, it's still in production. They're still in development, but I'm waiting for a release. But like I said, like I would play this all day long.
Yeah.
And it's their hype to lose. If they make a halfway decent game at release,
yeah,
I think they'll crush it.
Okay. So we know that there's going to be a closed beta coming out on PlayStation 4 on August 7th. For players that pre-ordered the game, that is. So if you pre-order the game, you get access to the closed beta. On August 14th, players who pre-ordered on Windows PC and Xbox version can play the same beta with an open beta for all PS4 players. So there's going to be an open beta as well, which will come out on all platforms on August 21st. The full game is slated to launch on September 4th. So Adam, I know when we showed this game in the last couple of live shows, you showed some kind of interest. Seeing Hawkeye now as well, would you, one, checking this out on beta, and two, does this excite you to maybe get it? Does Hawkeye, tickle your fancy that way?
Hawkeye, no. I'm not a big fan of Hawkeye, but
You're a fan of arrows? No.
See, Arrow is just like when it says Arrow, you're like, nah. Anyway, when I first seen the trailer,
yeah,
I was surprised how off-putting that was, just in regards to the characters. The Hulk you can't get wrong anyway, but the characters with it being so different to what you used to being in the cinema and the movies. Like there you see there, Hawkeye's change is a totally different character. It's like, whoa, you need to take a step back, but then again, you need to have a based on the comic series or that sort of thing. And yeah, it is something. I mean, I am interested in playing. I said from the start, yes, it looked a bit iffy when I seen the trailer over in E3 a couple of years back, and it doesn't look like a wow. But like Ben says, if it's half decent, it'll kill it. There's that many fans out there, that haven't anything like this in a long time. I know there is Spider-Man, of course, but not with the whole Marvel team. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting, very interesting. With all the powers that you'll gain, and it'll be something totally different than the battle royale games that you usually get today. Yeah. They'll probably have a mini battle royale part of that DLC of some sort. But
probably.
Hulk's left, right, and center smashing you, that sort of thing.
You know what? I would actually I would actually jump into the beta just to see how it plays. I like the idea of being able to fly with Thor and smash my hammer with it. But I will give it a go on the beta and just sort of make my mind from there. But I'm with you on the same page with you guys. Just to see how it plays would decide whether I do go for it. I mean, I like the Marvel universe, so I like the movies as well. So if it plays really well, then I think this is something I might actually jump into.
I gotta
So
say though, real quick too,
go for
poor
it.
Hawkeye, man. He doesn't get a mainline Avengers movie. His TV show gets canceled, and now they're just throwing him a
It's
DLC.
like,
They're like, "All right, here you go, Hawkeye. That's it. That's all you get."
but mind you, yeah, you have you have a guy who is the god of thunder. You have a dude that has a suit that does so many things. You have another guy that turns into this crazy ass unbeatable monster of a green giant that he is. Then you have a dude that's out here Robin Hood and shooting arrows of different varieties. I got the shock, I got the smoke, what you feel, and I got, both at the same time. So he doesn't really get the same platform or the wow factor like the rest. So I
Yeah.
understand. It's like the everyday man, just really good with arrows, I suppose,
Yeah,
and
no
not enough
argument.
money to get a suit. So moving right along, Sekiro. For those of you that have played it,
This is where me and Ben sign off.
That's right.
I should hold this conversation myself. It's perfectly fine. Sekiro is coming out with his first DLC this October. Now, it's not going to be a very new campaign or new. It's nothing like that. Although it's still something because first of all, we didn't see this coming. This was pretty much out of the blue. And it was announced that there will be a DLC coming out on October 29th, which come out on all versions of the game. So the DLC will include new skins, one for completing the game and other two for completing certain challenges. Available at any Sculptures Idol, you'll find 3 to change into, which will be the Tengu, the old Ashina Shinobi, and a third yet to be revealed skin. So these names probably mean nothing to you guys, which is fine, but that's great for me because if it's what I think it's going to look like, it's going to be pretty dope. Another thing that comes with the DLC is the ability to have a rematch with bosses previously defeated, known as Reflections of Strength. Now, for those of you in chat that have played Sekiro, how would you like to revisit that old fight you had with Lady Butterfly again? Or maybe, you know what, Ishin, I want to take you on one more time. Let's do the dance. You can now do this with the ability to have a rematch with those bosses called the Reflections of Strength. So I would not be doing that because I'm still traumatized by that so far. And then there would also be a single life challenges known as Gauntlets of Strength. So no other information provided about what this is, so keep an eye out for that. And also, there's going to be a passive online multiplayer known as Remnant, an amalgamation of players' messages and ghosts seen from other software games. So, those of you that play Dark Souls, when you run along a path. I don't know if you played Dark Souls, Ben. I know you've played Dark Souls, Adam. But there's messages left on different areas, and it could be like message saying, "Oh, jump here to get to this cool item," or "Praise your hand to the sun." So that same messaging system is now being brought into the Sekiro games. So all players will be able to record 30 seconds of their actions and upload them for others to watch. So if another player rates that particular message, they will get some lost HP back or free healing god refill. So which is great. So if people like my shit that I recorded, that was really helpful to them, I get something back. So all these DLCs, again, like I mentioned, all these DLCs coming out in October 29th. Activision announced that Sekiro has sold over 5 million copies since its release in March last year. So Ben, just quickly, I think you've watched me playing Sekiro.
For sure. I saw that Ishin fight.
Yeah. Don't remind me. Has that game appealed to you to actually like jump into?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I think the whole Soulsborne like series is something that I really want to hop into and play. I know like Dark Souls 1 might be a little too nostalgic for me at this point to hop in fresh and play through.
Okay.
I'll certainly give it a shot.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I've been lucky enough as a gamer, like I'm playing through Hollow Knight as well.
Yeah.
And there's so many games that have taken some of the best elements of those Dark Souls series and incorporated them too. So I think I've been lucky enough, even though I haven't played Dark Souls, to like get some of those really cool gameplay mechanics other places.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hyped. Although after again watching you play through Sekiro, that might be the game I play off stream and not while everybody's watching.
It is a challenging game, but it's so rewarding. Again, similar to From Software, they know how to make games that are stupidly difficult, but that yes moment when you finally do it, it's so satisfying. Adam, I know you've been playing, or you were playing Dark Souls 3, and I think you were stuck at a particular boss, so you retired from that game because it's kept on traumatizing you. Would Sekiro? Did I get it right, or was that?
Yeah.
Was that...
For me, Dark Souls is. I don't think I would pick Sekiro up because Dark Souls just didn't. I know I'm going to hurt a lot of fans out here, but didn't. I just couldn't keep on going with it. Well, one thing I couldn't keep on going is because of one boss, but you get my point. I got to a point where I was playing it for the stream for everybody, and it wasn't grabbing us. I couldn't make conversation about what I was doing, that sort of thing. I didn't push us along. I wasn't grasping it. My mind wasn't there. So I was like, I'll switch it. I went to Tarkov and left streaming for a bit.
Fair enough.
Rage quit off stream after playing Dark Souls.
Hey, I didn't say it, but that is pretty much what I do.
I feel it though, man. Like I said, I'm glad you guys paved the way and were brave enough to do it for your chat.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So that's DLC's coming out in October 29. I would probably check out the skins. I'm curious to see what the single life challenge known as the Gauntlet of Strength is. But considering that, again, this is something that I didn't expect to come out, so this is actually quite a nice treat for all the Sekiro fans out there. So we're moving on to quite an interesting part of the show. There's an article that was actually printed out, I think, either last week or the week before. The topic of the article was Sony is winning an outdated console war as Microsoft reinvents the industry around them. And that was written by, I think, Patrick Dane. So I'm going to just take some quotes from the Actor Room article so that we can actually have some bit of context. But actually, before going into that, you guys know about this whole console wars, like Sony versus Microsoft, PS versus Xbox. You guys know about all this back and forth and whatnot. It's been going on for many years. So in this article, the first quote that I took out was, gamers are judging the winner by an old rule set. Mainly, who has the better, more impressive game? PlayStation has a deep roster of established AAA developers with demonstrable talent. Xbox has made impressive acquisitions recently, but the new identity of Xbox game studios is still somewhat unclear. By the old rules, Sony is a much safer bet. So I think one of the things that I've been saying, even leading up to the Xbox showcase that came out last week, was that I know Microsoft is getting all these acquisitions of new studios and whatnot. That what is it going to actually produce? Is it going to bring out this AAA exclusive games, first-party games for the console itself, for the Xbox ecosystem? Because Sony has been launching out a lot of first-party games, Last of Us, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. So just using that particular quote, where do you guys see in terms of Xbox, in terms of like, are they doing the right things by getting these studios, and are they trying to focus their energy to actually start releasing AAA first-party games? Is that something that Xbox needs to sort of start looking and start really churning out in that aspect? So I'm going to actually pose that question first to you, Adam.
Repeat that? No, I'm joking.
I can't. We're ending the show right there.
I've never thought that Xbox doesn't churn out AAA games. In my opinion, because plenty of games that Microsoft Game Studios have pumped out that are fantastic. Yes, I know the quote that you put out there with Sony has established a lot of AAA developers with so much talent in their games. Well, for me, me personally, the reason why I didn't get a PlayStation is the friends that had Xboxes. I kind of was pushed towards there in a way, and the community and friends I've kind of built on the Xbox. I have had PlayStations in the past, and games like Last of Us 2 has always been a game that I really want to try. I really want to. I've saw YouTube, when YouTube blowing up, I kind of played the games in a way, because you watch that many YouTubers play all these fantastic games that the PlayStation has to offer. So I kind of get me fixed that way. But here's a question. For me, I think Xbox has got plenty of AAA games that are absolutely fantastic in my mind.
Okay, so if going by that particular quote, saying gamers are judging the winner by the old rule set of like, okay, first of all, how good does this game look? I mean, we talked about the Halo, for example. I'm going to pose this next question to you, Ben. We talked about Halo, visually it was lacking, and this then sparked this debate between why does a next gen game look this way, and as opposed to a current gen game on Sony look so much better. So if casual players are judging it by how things look, and rather than maybe potentially the mechanics of it, because again, it's first impressions that matters, right? Just pointing this question to you, Ben. Do you think that perhaps maybe how Sony has, again, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, how Sony has released their games, released all this, first party games looking great and whatnot, and then perhaps maybe Xbox hasn't really been catching up, or not really been, I don't want to say catching up, not really been at the same, accused or allegedly accused of not being at the same level. Do you think this rule set actually applies? Do you think that gamers are actually just judging games by how things look? Or for you personally, do you think it's more than that?
Yeah, so I think, again, I think you frame it around Game Pass, because I think that's what Xbox is trying to do here. But for me, right now, I let my Game Pass expire actually very recently.
Okay.
And it was because there wasn't that game, even without buying the new console, there wasn't that game or that new IP or that interesting thing that Xbox Game Pass has that I couldn't get somewhere else right now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it's kind of a paltry list on PC at the moment. I think you got maybe 50, 60 games, something like that for PC that you're getting. So I think they're going the right direction here. And acquiring new IPs, acquiring new studios, and trying to find that hype beast game that they can put into their service.
Yeah.
I think is what they need to do. So I would expect that they're actually going to put the time and energy into making these excellent games to compete with PlayStation and sell their service eventually. Yeah.
So you think that given that Xbox is saying, we're focused on creating the service as opposed to, what, again, going by that quote, gamers judging the game by how it looks. And if the direction is that, look, we understand gamers are thinking about X, Y, and Z, but trust me, we're doing something in the back that is going to benefit you more. Do you think that Xbox maybe should do it in a way that is more apparent, that, look, we understand that maybe the casual gamers there don't really see what we're trying to create here? Do you think that maybe they should make it more apparent to them, like really take note of that, or just keep going according to the current plan that they have, or the current track they're on? Do you think they should not really focus on that noise and just keep plowing away, basically?
Yeah. I think the multiplayer announcement that Halo did is probably in response to the backlash from the graphics. Yeah. And I think that's the right direction. For me as a gamer, I think we all would consider ourselves, pretty passionate gamers. Yeah. Even for me anymore, I really don't care as much about graphics. If I can get it to play and it runs smoothly, I don't need it to be in super high fidelity. Yeah. So getting as many people online with me and playing multiplayer with my friends is the thing that's going to sell me.
Yeah, I'll happily go back to Halo 2 and get a lot of friends. Back in the old
Absolutely.
days, sit
Absolutely.
around and play Tower of Power and that sort of thing, and just have a good
Yeah.
old multiplayer session with all your friends.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So the article goes on to say, and again, taking another snapshot from the article because it was, again, I would recommend anybody to check it out. The website is called codexentry.com/Sony. Again, is winning an outdated console war as Microsoft reinvents the industry around them. Definitely worth the read. Is very, very interesting article. So the next quote that I actually
I'll
took
post
out
a link
from
in
that,
the chat.
Perfect. The next quote I took out from that was that Xbox seems to be fighting a war less about selling boxes, which, again, I think Adam you alluded to earlier and during the show, and more about having the most players playing games within its ecosystem. And Ben, you mentioned this part, which I'm going to just pretty much state, is that with Game Pass, you play anywhere, and the push for cross-platform play, even with Sony. So I know that Microsoft's really been pushing, look, whether you're on Xbox, whether you're on PC, it's fine. You can play wherever you feel, works for you. And they're really pushing for more cross-platform games or more cross-platform play, even with Sony, for example, whether it's Overwatch or Apex or whatever. So if this is the path that Microsoft is sort of moving to, more of a service, more of like, I want to get the most players within its ecosystem. Do you think that Sony, and this is a question for you, Adam, do you think that Sony is potentially looking at and saying, okay, if Xbox is no longer thinking about getting their consoles or their boxes within, household, do you think Sony's thinking perhaps we should start thinking about how we can, potentially reinvent or change how we do business? Or do you think they're going to just keep, we're going to be launching more first party games, more AAA games, games like Last of Us, games like Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, and hope that works for them?
Yeah, well, I think that last comment you just said there, I think the world just try and push out as many AAA games in the consoles because it did them well in the past. It's still it's still working for them. It hasn't failed them yet. They've had a bit ups and downs. Somebody came out and said the PS4 nearly killed the PlayStation, but you can just look at the figures. It's worked. Yeah. There's a lot of players still out there. It would be nice if they went down the route of, okay, we're pushing out all these consoles. People are buying a lot more consoles than Xbox. Trying to integrate it with a bit of Xbox service, that sort of thing, where PlayStation Now is just being unveiled on PC recently. They are trying to integrate a lot more. But no, your main question, I think they'll just keep pumping out their AAA games because it's working, and that's what's bringing the money in.
So I'm going to actually ask this question, Ben. In that quote, says that Xbox seems to be fighting war less about selling boxes. Now, we know that casual players are out there. I like to think all three of us here are hardcore game players, right? We have a PC. We have the console.
that classes as hardcore. We have a PC.
Those are the parameters. If you have a PC, you have a console, you're already hardcore. That's it. I don't know how else you measure it, unless you are. I don't know. But I'm going with that premise. But mind you, there are lots of people that are just, they go to work, come back, the gamers, look, I want to sit on my couch, on my 42-inch, 4K TV and play this game. There's still a lot of market with that particular audience. So do you think that Xbox is maybe potentially missing out on, that particular space if they're focusing on just getting more players within their ecosystem as opposed to maybe getting more of their boxes into each person's living room?
Yeah, so I think Adam kind of touched on this with his answer before, but I think we're starting to see more of a split, where Xbox is going to be Game Pass and going to be the service. That's what they're known for. PlayStation is, again, moving in the direction of AAA titles. And I think Nintendo kind of did this a few years back. I'm sure you guys remember, the Wii U when that launched.
Yeah.
That was around the same time as the hype of the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, I think. Somewhere in that realm.
Yeah.
But even then, even at launch, it was never going to compete on graphics. And so I think you'll definitely continue to see each of them specializing down all three of those roads.
Yeah.
And I think, again, I don't think Microsoft is worried about selling hardware anymore.
Okay.
I think they just want to get as many people as they can, lower the barrier to entry, play wherever you want, play on your phone, play on your PC,
Nextcloud,
play
yeah.
on your Xbox. But if you want to play with friends, Xbox is the place for that. And if you want to play, single player on the couch by yourself, we know Sony has us beat in that area right now, and we're just not going to compete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally agree with that. You're right. I mean, with the premise of xCloud, they wanted it all in their ecosystem. The Game Pass, you pay a monthly subscription that brings in the most money, outputting games, fantastic games. They'll still output fantastic games, but like you said there, Ben, yeah, I think you're right. Is the pushing consoles out? You have a nice PlayStation sitting there, sitting back, relax, get the controller, and play nice, fantastic single player games. But again, for me, and it always will be, I think, unless something drastically happens, something horrible happens where Xboxes, friends, you want to play with friends, that's where you go. That is the place to go.
And just touching to that, because there's another particular quote in that article that I'm going to just quickly sort of paraphrase, is that once we see the sales figures, right, of, okay, how much boxes did PlayStation sell versus how much boxes does Xbox sell, it would look like Xbox is by far lagging behind, because if their plan, their strategy is to just get everybody, whether on PC, as you mentioned, Ben, whether on PC, Xbox, wherever, just get them playing on their ecosystem. That's their plan. It would look like they are losing the traditional console wars, right? So they may be losing the battle, but perhaps maybe, as based on the article saying, they might be end up winning the main war, which is getting everybody playing, most people playing within that ecosystem. So I thought that was actually a very good point that was made in that particular article. And I think that's the point that you guys are sort of touching on, that, look, yes, they know that they're not really focusing on boxes or whatever, but they want to focus on getting as much players just within that ecosystem, which, at the end of the day, if they get most people within that ecosystem, they were making more money because they have people buying the games, Game Pass, whatever. So there's a lot more lucrative opportunities in that aspect. So I thought that's actually a very good point that you guys sort of touched on. So lastly, another last quote I'm going to just mention. If Sony clings to rules that won, quotation air quotes, this fight in the past, it will soon find itself behind in the world where Microsoft are once shaping the industry. The Xbox infrastructure will be accessible to so many, even players who wouldn't dream of buying the hardware Microsoft is selling. Who sold the most boxes won't matter, with Microsoft silently slipping into the back pockets of most gamers. So pretty much Microsoft is Sekiro backstabbing people by by getting by getting people within their camp, pretty much. So they're pretty much ninjas silently getting people within the ecosystem, because they know that the future is within the service they provide, within, whether it's Game Pass, whether it's playing wherever you want to play, cross platform, whatever. But for now, the debates will still stand as, okay, Sony is winning because of XYZ. But just finishing this whole part of this report is that Microsoft is actually doing something that will eventually let them win the main war and eventually shape how this industry operates, whether it be Game Pass, which is by far the Netflix of gaming right now. And I'm curious to see, from your point, I'm going to ask this question to you, Adam. Do you think Sony would eventually say, Game Pass is killing us, bro? Like, dude, what do we do? Like, do we release? Does this then trigger something within the industry that Sony starts to release something or create the service that Microsoft have? Or again, would they just keep chugging away and just keep doing what they're doing?
I really do hope that they do wake up and go, holy shit, Microsoft Game Pass. I know they do have to do PS Now. They really need to start pushing PS Now, because at the end of the day, all competition is good competition, especially, you don't really want Microsoft to have all this power and people going on, because then they can charge what they want. They can charge anything at all.
Yep.
It's when PlayStation comes by and goes, well, we can do this, 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 and this. There's a bit more competition. Prices start fluctuating, lowering. There's more places to go. Same with obviously when Netflix had all the power. That sort of thing now. Obviously, there's Disney Plus. There's all sorts out there. For me personally, all competition is good competition. For a customer's point of view, because prices come down. And there's more out there. They're trying the hardest. They work a lot harder, trying to offer a lot more services, and it only gets better for the customer when there's competition. Otherwise, people Microsoft could be sitting back going, "Yeah, we've got it. We've got it in the bag. We don't need to do anything else. We don't need to publish all these new features. It's working. Just let the money roll in." That's just laziness for me.
Yeah.
And where I would like to think Sony would come out fighting. At the end of the day, if they don't, it's gonna be bad on them, I think.
And if you just look at, for example, Nokia was the giants in mobile telecommunications, and then Apple just came with their ingenuity with their product. And where is Nokia right now? So just quickly to ask you, Ben, do you consider yourself? Are you split in sort of? Are you an Xbox? Are you in the Xbox camp or in the PS camp, or are you just, I play whatever games interest me? I'm all for just gaming in general. Like where exactly do you sit in terms of like this type of war, as they say?
Yeah. And again, I think I'm pretty passionate as a gamer, but for me, I think that console debate is over. It's like how do I play the games that I want to play, and how do I play them with my friends?
Yeah.
And I know for me, I have an Xbox that's actually unplugged. I don't use it because I can get most of those games on PC. But that being said, the only console I would consider, picking up or purchasing at this point would be a PS4 right now. I've actually considered buying a PS4.
Okay.
Or buying a PS5 as it comes out, because of the roster of games that I can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought, again, that was a very interesting article. I would recommend anybody to go check it out. The link is in chat. It's a really good read. This debate has been going on for so many years, and I think Microsoft is like, look, Sony, you guys keep doing what you're doing, but I think we are going to try and shape the industry in a way that probably is going to make them tons of money. Again, they're doing this. Yes, it makes sense, but it's going to give them so much money. I mean, if you look at Netflix, I mean, Netflix pretty much took out Blockbuster out of the equation. There's nothing like that anymore. So, so it's a really good read. I would recommend those of you out there to definitely give it a read, and hit us up on chat when you actually have. So we're pretty much on the last segment. Adam, I'm gonna pass the baton to you. Go for it.
It's always good when it comes to sales and good news like that.
Give us the good shit.
Notable stories this week. Halo and Razer joined forces to create a line of new products to be revealed later this year. I'm interested in that because I'm starting to like Razer. Me personally looking into buying a Razer laptop. Let's see what that brings. Neo 2's first DLC update, which we've touched on this today, added a wealth of content to the game. Free patch, new game modes, weapons, armor, levels, and equipment. Available now, PS4 timed exclusive. Splinter Cell is getting an amazingly super anime adaptation on Netflix. And there's also some good news for Beyond Good and Evil fans. Netflix feature film adaptation of Ubisoft's epic space pirate adventure is in development. I will post a link in that in the chat because that's worth looking at. So those who bought the original Bright Memory game, bought the Bright Memory game. That was a typing error there. Game on PC will receive the upcoming Bright Memory Infinite for free, which is quite good. That's really good.
So just quickly, this game was made by one person, and it is the most graphically stunning game I've seen in a very long time. I would recommend you guys check it out. I played a little bit, but the controls were a bit janky. But again, this is a one-man production team that did this game. If you look at it, you wouldn't even believe it. It's stunning. It's amazing. So yeah, go check it out.
PS4 Plus, August. Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. That's going to be a hilarious game. That's something that Femi would be interested in.
Oh yeah.
Games with Gold. Portal Knights from the 1st of August till the 31st of August. Override Mech City Brawl from the 16th of August to the 15th of September. MX Unleash, the 1st of August to the 15th. Red Faction 2, 16th of August to the 31st. And next on the list is free with Epic Game Store at the moment is 20XX or 2000 from the 6th of August. That's influenced by the Mega Man games. Barony.
Okay.
Played a bit of that one. And it's a lot of fun.
Is it?
Might have to check that out.
You can play co-op with friends too.
Ooh, I'm gonna check that out. Okay, good shout. Good shout.
That's out on our list. I'll highlight that for later. Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery from the 6th of August. It's a pixel art side-scrolling action adventure game. And Good Old Games, the Grand RPG sale to 90% off, including Divinity 2, Original Sin 2.
Divinity 2?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wasteland Remastered. And Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. And that is all from me.
Awesome. Is there anything that caught your eye there, Ben? Anything that you're like, okay, I might check that out, pick that up. Anything that interests you?
I think going back to 20XX, honestly, it's been a few years since I played it back on PC. But getting some people together and doing our Mega Man side scroller as a team. I don't know if any of you guys watched me play Hollow Knight, but I need all the help I can get.
Hey man, dude, if you're gonna play, I'll be down for that.
I'm the same as well. I think we should all hit that up. That'd be a fantastic game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. Ben has endorsed it. Go give it a try. What about you, Adam? Is there anything that has tickled you there? Like, ooh, yes, please.
Well, now 20XX, multiplayer games are my jam. Single player games,
right.
I'm not the best, but multiplayer games, I am all in for it. I don't know. No, nothing else, I'm afraid. Red Faction is interesting. But Divinity 2, since it's up to 90% off. I've been recommended that a lot by yourself and a lot of other friends. So yeah, might check up on that.
Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. Some really good stuff in the stores. Go check them out. 20XX, as recommended by two awesome streamers, Ben and Adam. Go play it. So let's get out of here, guys. So Adam.
Yes.
What are you playing? What are you watching?
Right, okay. Well, at the moment, I've been catching up on Narcos and Humans on Netflix. There's a lot of that Humans. I'm up to the 3rd series. It's kind of I've lost interest in a bit because everything's happened. It's been out for that long. I'm not bothered about spoilers. All the robots have got consciousness, so it's all this like divide between humans and robots now. And it's like I knew this was going to happen, and it's just starting to lack the interest, starting to lack the story, because you can kind of predict what's going to happen next a lot. But yeah, I'm still going to chug along with that. In regards to games, I have just picked up SnowRunner. SnowRunner is a brilliant off-road kind of truck simulator type game. It's me and a friend from work. We've been playing that a lot the last couple of days. And again, a bit of a Raft and a Rogue Company. Raft is hilarious, a hilarious multiplayer game.
I heard about that.
Yeah, the whole night just kind of disappeared when we played that. we felt like the eco group of the green kind of guys collecting rubbish from the sea pretty much most of the night. But again, we built a pretty good raft. It was fairly good. But yeah, fair games. I mean, Tarkov, I've said this every week, I still play Tarkov, but it's got to a point where should I play it any longer? I'm losing money. I haven't got much money left. It's either Scar or going in with a pistol at the moment. So yeah, that's what I've been playing at the moment. But again, I'm going to start streaming again Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Try my very best. Again, I've been full-time work again, so it's been rather hard. I'll try and keep everybody posted on Twitch Twitter at nunsandmoses_live, and you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/nunsandmoses.
Awesome. Definitely give him a follow. Like, go check him out. It is brilliant. The Escape from Tarkov. If you ever want to know what inventory management looks like, you are in for it. With that said, Ben, tell us, what are you playing or watching?
Yeah, on stream right now, I'm playing through Witcher. It made my top 3 today somehow already.
Yes.
So it's a high endorsement. I'm loving it so far. Can't wait for Cyberpunk as well. Playing a little bit of Hollow Knight too, and really enjoying that. It's I think a good balance between the two. I got my big story game and I got some platform over here, but
Nice.
both would get my endorsement all day long. It's my first time with both, so if you haven't played them, anybody out there in chat, it's well worth checking them out, whatever your style.
Awesome.
Looking for a recommendation on TV right now. So Adam, I might have to check out that one you were talking about.
Narcos is good. Narcos is good. I've watched Narcos.
Narcos. Yeah,
Narcos.
right on.
Yeah.
And then off stream playing a little bit of Teamfight Tactics. And
Okay.
then the cooldown is usually City Skylines. I've got a nice little
City Skylines.
Waterline City.
Yeah.
Adam, you play City Skylines.
That is my jam.
Yeah.
I'm all over that. Yeah,
Heck yes.
I've spent many early hours many nights early hours, starting at like 6 p.m. up until 6 a.m. It just goes on and on. Fantastic.
Yep.
I'll be definitely hitting you up and talking about that.
Absolutely. I want all the tips I can get, man. Absolutely.
So tell us, Ben, where can people find you then?
Yes, I don't really do the social media thing, but I am on Twitch, believe it or not. Be Scrubbin'. I think it's under my name there. Come find me there. I have been streaming, I think, pretty much every day for a while. That schedule might change a bit. Might drop a day or two in there, but for the moment, it's mid-afternoon Central Time, so around 3-4 o'clock on to 8 or 9.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Go check him out, guys. He is pretty, really, really dope. I mean, I'm just being very modest. It's hella dope. Good times, good vibes. So you're in for a treat. Go check him out. Unfortunately, Scott's not here with us, Neon Demon. He's unwell. And he's actually in chat. Witcher 3 is my #1 game. Yes, I know how much you love Witcher.
All right.
Just quickly, Kusogo Plays says, if you haven't played Divinity Original Sin 2 and you love old school Baldur's Gate style games, you're doing yourself a disservice. I absolutely agree with that. I was a bit hesitant to go into Divinity, but I was really intrigued by D&D style games, and let me tell you, it is so good. So I definitely recommend check it out. But for guys that don't know Neon Demon, he actually streams as well. You can find him on Twitch, Neon Demon 4, and also on Twitter at neondemon_demon4. So go check him out. I think he's currently playing Ghost of Tsushima as well. So if you wanted to see how that game looks like, go check him out. He's an awesome streamer. So if you're well, buddy, get well. And
you're not getting away. Yeah, you tell us all about what you are playing.
That's right. Come on, man.
Oh God, I'm not ready.
Spotlight on you.
So yeah, I'm currently playing Evil Within 2, and I think I'm currently on chapter 8. I've been told it has 17 chapters, so I have a long way to go. It is scaring the shit out of me, but I'm still loving it. It's a great game. I played the first one, fantastic. So I'm currently playing that. In terms of watching stuff, been watching a little bit more of anime. Last anime that I watched, I can't remember the name now, is great. I'm waiting for a particular anime to fully come out so I can check it out. It's called God of High School. I'm waiting for the entire season to come out so I can just binge watch the shit out of it. So for those of you that do like anime and you want to talk about it, you can find me on Twitter at @AR_A_R_O2NG, and also on Instagram A_R_O_2NG. And also I'm also on Twitch. I stream Monday to Saturdays at 6 p.m. BST. Saturdays I stream a little bit earlier, but you can catch me on Twitch at A_R_O. So if you want to see some more spooky games, come vibe with me. So with that said, you can also reach out to us on Above the Fold Twitter handle at AboveTheFold_1. So thank you very much, Ben. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate being here.
And again, go check him out. He's a fantastic streamer. You definitely have so much fun. And with that said, that has been Above the Fold episode 13, guys. 1-3.
Wow.
Whew. So have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we shall see you guys next week.
Thank you. Goodbye.